Fue mi vida la que cambió. Ahora vivo como quiero. La fama fue la que me llamó. Yo no cambié. Fue mi vida la que cambió.
What's up, it's your boy Mari Cuts, and you already know we about to give another tutorial right here. So he basically did a self-cut on himself, so you can see how there's like a disconnection from the top of the hair to the side. And that usually happens when you have the self-cuts. It's a little hard to get the separation right there. So we're going to start with the first guideline. Like that first guideline, so I'm going to do more of a mid drop fade. I'm going to drop a little bit in the back. So you know you want to start it right there, right where the C cup is going to start. That's usually where I started. So as you can see, so now I'm going in with the blade open, no guard. And then I do it all the way open. And basically what I do is I close it 1/4. 1/4 of the way. Now I'm gonna hit it right below. There you go. Now I'm closing it halfway. And same thing, you're just gonna hit it halfway. Now we're gonna close it 3/4 of the way. And when you're doing this, is just flicking. And now I'm hitting the most bottom line. So I close it all the way right here. And I'm just going in and clean it up. And I would stay tapped in on this full video because I was finally able to capture everything as to like when I detail, when the blend doesn't come out. So you know, at first you say your foundation, and when the blend doesn't come out exactly what you want, you're gonna have to detail according to everyone's hair texture, the head and all that stuff. So now I'm going in with the one open. So one open. So like I was saying, you want to say your foundation first and then you go in detail. So that's why I like this video because I actually show that part, and I usually don't get to show that part because I always get distracted. So now I'm going halfway with the one guard. Halfway, the lever is halfway. That's what I mean by that. And I'm hitting it like right below the one open. And here you can see the lever, have it all the way closed. And I'm hitting the most bottom line. That line is still gonna stay there. Like it's still gonna be there. Don't freak out because we're gonna take it out with your half guard. Your half guard is always gonna help you blend everything. There's my half guard, and I'm hitting I close the guard halfway, and I'm hitting it halfway. And remember, you don't want to exaggerate your flick. It's just all in the motion of your hand. You just want to go up, go up. Like don't go in, but like just kind of flick up. Now I close it all the way. And I'm cleaning out that line. So now we're going in with the 1.5. This is the highest number I am going to use. So this is where I was talking about where the hair is disconnected to the side. It's super long on the top. So this is probably like where I was having the most problems with this haircut. But it's all good. There's nothing we can't handle. So I'm going in, flicking out. And that's why I have my comb there. That way I'm trying to flatten it out, and I'm trying to get all those hairs. That way I can see exactly. But what I realized is that hair is overhanging. So we're gonna have to take care of that with my finisher. So now I'm hitting it halfway, lever halfway, and then I close it all the way. So now I'm hitting that line in between the one open and the 1.5. So the lever is closed all the way right now. And yep, it's still closed. You see I'm flicking, I'm like, damn, why'd that line don't want to come out? But it's all good. So I kept moving on. You don't want to waste your time on there. You don't want to lose time. Remember, you're on a time crunch. You got your next client coming in. So now I went straight to the clip over comb. And this is where I was like, all right, it's probably gonna get better after this. It didn't. So, but don't freak out though. Don't freak out. That's what we gotta plan. You got your first plan, and then you gotta have something after that. You gotta be prepared always. You always gotta have a second plan. So now this is why I'm going in more with the comb. I'm going straight in, and I'm trying to get any hairs that are sticking out. See if I could blend it in a little bit more in there. It still didn't blend. So now I'm gonna switch the comb a little bit more vertical. You see that? So now I'm getting all the hairs like that. I mean, it looks a little better, but not where we want it to be, you know? So y'all about to see what we're gonna do next. And that comb is basically like a #1. So look, now I'm going in with my #2, and I'm just gonna try to clear bulk on top of there. I usually don't use my number twos because I don't like to waste time. Usually my clip over comb will take care of that, but it didn't in this case. So now I went with my number two, and now I'm going back with my number one and my 1.5. And this is all corner work now because you don't want to create another guideline up there. You're already having trouble, so you want to just hit it like corner work, and just flicking out, being careful with it. And now that I'm realizing, I kind of know why I wasn't able to get it. But you see, there we go. That was the step I needed. That half guard all the way open, hit it as if it was almost a number one. I know it sounds weird, but sometimes in certain cases where that line is not coming out, you got to just hit it like as if it was a number one. Just open it all the way and do corner work. And that's basically what detailing is. That's going to bring your cuts to the next level. You see, it's still not where I wanted to be, but it looks a little better than the beginning. You always want to keep your client clean. You know, you don't want them like they're just with hella hairs and poking them. So you always want to brush them out. So there I'm going again with the half guard all the way open. And I'm flicking out. Because if I was to just go straight in, that's going to create another line. Still not doing it. Looks a little better now. But that's what it is. Y'all seen how I set my foundation first and now it's all detailed. So this is the 1.5 again. Oh no, that's the 1. The 1. And you guys see how I'm going a little higher with the 1 now because I'm flicking out now. So I decided to just move on. I was like, I'm going to just bald it out, line it up. Hopefully something happens when I do that. Like my eyes are probably able to see it better. So like I said, you always want to just keep moving. You don't want to stay stuck on one thing, you know? You don't want to waste time. So I'm balding it out. So when you're balding out, you want to bald it all the way up to that first guideline that you put. And right before you get it, I would say like finger length. You don't want to go all the way up there. You want to start flicking. And you see how that line, there's usually a line that stays between the shaver. You see how I'm going with the grain now? I was flicking it down. You want to go with the grain so that it takes that line in between the lowest guideline that you put and the shaver. Because when you're flicking up, you're going to leave a little bit of line. Just go with the grain. So now I'm going in with my thinning shears in there. You guys can see. And this is, it's going to help a little bit. And that top section, it doesn't start looking more gradient until I actually go in with my shears on top. And I take some of the bulk. But the thinning shears definitely help. This is when I usually use my thinning shears, is when that top hair doesn't want to blend in with the side. And sometimes all it is you just got to go in there with the thinning shears and it helps out with that. So the blend looked a little better there. So now we're going to go to this side. Again, flicking in. So this side I'm going to go a little quicker. So remember, no guard. All the way open. And then we close it up 1/4. Now I'm hitting it halfway. So I'm pretty sure right there I close it 3/4 of the way. See how that bottom line is coming out. So now I went in with the number 1. Open. Just like what we did on the other side, you know? So 1 open. And right there I'm saving time. Right when I went back to the other side, I closed it halfway. Now the guard is all the way closed, and I'm flicking that line out. I'm going back and forth. You don't want to waste time, you know. Now I'm going in with the half guard halfway. And it's all just trusting the process, you know. You don't want to freak out in between a cut. That's usually what happens with a lot of people, is they freak out and then they just give up. You got to just trust your process. You got to keep going. So now I have the half guard all the way closed, and you see over here is blending a little bit easier. So same on this side, I get the 1.5 and I start going at it. And don't freak out. Every haircut is gonna be like that. There's gonna be one side that's gonna give you a hard time, and the other side is you're just gonna just smooth, like just go right through it, like easy. But it's like that. There's times where like maybe that first side that you did was super easy, and you're like, oh, there's no way it was this easy, and then the next one kicks your ass. So this one, I'm all the way closed now. I know I'll be going on rant sometimes, but just follow the process, you know. You always want to pay attention when you look at my videos. Pay attention to the lever. So now right here it's all detail work, because now I'm going back in with the 1, and this is in between the 1.5 and the 1, and I'm flicking into that line, because sometimes it'll leave a small faint line, and if the line is still there and that 1 is not taking it out, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go down a number. You're gonna go down to your half guard all the way open and flick into it. You see exactly what I'm doing right there. This is what's gonna bring your cuts to the next level, because a lot of people, they just go with their foundation and then that's their cut. You need to go back in there in detail. I promise you. Your foundation, you only want to set about 10 minutes, and then the rest is detailing. Detailing is what brings your haircut to the next level. Now I'm going to clip over comb. You already know how we do. And I do gotta say, I love my wall clippers. I have my Babyliss ones. They broke, and now that I'm using my wall clippers, I love wall, man. I didn't think I was ever gonna switch up from Babyliss, but these wall clippers, the wall seniors. So this is the walls that I'm using is the Soul Edition, but they're basically the wall seniors. And man, their motor goes crazy. I can't wait to get like. I know a lot of people say the Andes Masters are pretty powerful too, so I'm gonna have to try those out. So right here, against the grain with the shaver. On there. So keep in mind, he's also I'm cutting his hair. He's also upcoming barber. He just started cutting, like he's just started cutting hair like a couple months ago. So I was also teaching him a little bit like of the process. Like, you know, I was telling him like, oh, flick it. Y'all see my hand there, but it was a cool conversation with my man, bro. We were just going at it, chopping it up about hair cutting and all that stuff. And now I'm going in with the 2 again, same process the other one, clearing bulk on top. You don't want to leave too bulky. You don't ever want your haircut to have a nice fade and all of a sudden you see bulk on top. Like, it looks nasty, you know? You don't want it like that. So now, right here, watch this. I got a clean angle of this my shear work. I want to show y'all. And it wasn't the best like my best guideline, but watch. So I set that first guideline, so you want to split the top of the hair into 3. And you're gonna start. So now I split one side, and then I'm gonna split the right side to that side. I'm bring it down, and I'm just gonna get that middle part. That middle part is where you're gonna set your guideline. So since he combs his hair forward and he has it lined up in the front, the fringe part, which is the front part, like the hair close to your hairline, is fringe. So now right there, you see I set my first guideline. Boom, following it back. Right there, boom. He only wanted like half an inch, or like a little bit less than half an inch. So that's my first guideline. You're gonna comb everything forward. So now you get any hairs on the side of that, and you make it all the same. You see, the middle hair is shorter. So now we're just gonna connect it all. Boom, boom. You see that? I show it right there. Boom. And you're gonna do that to both sides. And you see right there, it's closer to the fringe area, so it gets a little more difficult because during the fringe area, since he has the lineup, the hair is always going to be shorter. And then I finally seen that, and I was like, all right, now I'm tripping. Let me just go back to my regular. You know, sometimes you got to catch yourself. So now I'm going more to the side of the head, and you kind of, you see how I was putting my guidelines? You don't want to do it too square on the side of the head. You want to kind of like round it off with it a little bit. So now what I did to this side, I'm doing to the other side. I know it's kind of hard, my hand was getting in the way, but basically what I'm doing is I'm connecting that middle guideline that I put to the side of the hair. And keep it clean, you know, you want to comb it forward, you want to keep it clean. So looking fresh. So right there is where I'm going to the side, you know. You don't want to have super long. He combs his hair to forward, but he likes to just keep a regular, messy top, messy look on the top. So you don't want the hair overhanging. So you want to keep it a little shorter on the side. So that's why I give my guidelines like that. See it? There you go. And basically what you're doing is you're kind of just lengthening your fingers more to the vertical to his chin, and then you connect all the hairs from the top of the head to the side, and you cut it off. And if you guys are in the Pasadena area, you guys can hit me up. We can set up a appointment where you can come watch when I'm cutting, and we can set prices on that too. You already know, it's a better, you learn better that way too, because you actually get to see what I mean and what I'm telling you and all that stuff. So if you are an upcoming barber and you want to learn hands-on, hit me up. We can set up a price for that too. So right here is the blow dry. So with blow dry, so I did put texture on the hair. I'm not going to show it because my camera cut off for some reason. So it's all basically point cutting when I do the texture. So before you put the texture, you want to dry up the hair. And the way you want to style the hair is you want to have the blow dryer on hot. Once you style it the way you want it, you want to have your hair hold. So now you want to put your blow dryer on cold and then go right back on it. And that's going to give it that nice firm hold. After that, I line it up and then I go ahead and put the texture. But basically, I'm just drying it up right now. And like I said, you want to put texture once the hair is dry. So I go back in there when I was drying it up. I seen that little line, and I knew this was gonna happen. You see what I mean? Like you're just gonna keep going, and then you're gonna come back and just get it. So I put in the one, and that little line that was there, I made it a little bit more gradient. So it's starting to look more blurry. So with the hairline, you always want to prepare everything. You don't just want to start your artwork and you don't want to prepare the canvas. So you want to put some hairspray, make sure the hairs hold, comb it down, and you just go in and line it up. You don't want to have it too sharp because at the end of the day, he does more of a messy look. But you just want to clean it up. You want to make it look like he got a haircut, That's what I'm doing, clean it up. And I know y'all gonna say this is an Edgar cut. Not yet. Right now it looks like it, but watch when we put the texture and all that stuff. So that's what it is. I'm sweeping them around. I'm gonna clean up this corner over here. And basically for hairlines, a lot of people are scared, but make sure you don't push your client back. Just keep it as natural as possible because that's gonna give your cuts longevity. You don't want your client to walk out that chair and then 3 days later, it starts growing back and it looks like he needs a new cut. So keep it as natural as possible. That's gonna make the cut last as long as possible. And you kind of have to visualize it right before you go in. Visualize it and it's gonna come out. Just be patient with it. There's the haircut. Look at that nice gradients. That's after I styled it. I put the texture on top, and we tapped in. It's your boy Mari Cuts, and we going at it. Let's go.